Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Don't know if we're gonna have anybody today, but here for a special stream. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Why? Okay. Ads manager, hold on. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, looks like we got everything situated now. Let me get everything booted up. I want to get stuff with that's not the button I wanted. Okay. 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 Ba 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 ba. Okay. Hey, Kalora, welcome in. Hello, 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 hello. Give me a minute to post in all the places that I'm live. And then I will bring our guest star on. How was your night, Kalora? I'm pretty sure you were there last stream. Last night. Or your day this morning going so far? Oh. Okay. EP? You're EP? Oh. Well, I'm glad you're here, Kalora. Hopefully we're entertaining for you. Or I guess therapeutic? I don't know. Like, Chicken Mans was saying last night that, like, he was playing all this gaming stuff, and he had me on in the background, and the sound of my voice as I was running through that combat encounter was like therapeutic for him. And I was like, I guess, question mark. But sure. I mean, he's not the first person to tell me that, like, my voice is good for, like, calming stuff. Okay. I'm gonna... Yep. I'm gonna join the call in a second. I'm posting in all the places to let them know that I'm live. Alright. Alrighty. Copy. Okay. Alrighty. Also, if anyone is watching on... if anyone is watching on... YouTube, if you could like the stream, it helps the algorithm with getting it out to more people and lets me people know that Lets me know that people are watching and all of that stuff. And all of that jazz. So any likes that you could do would really be a big help. Okay. I think I've got that posted everywhere. I got my model booted up. Okay. Copy. We are going to do it live. I'm going to be fixing things up as we go as part of the adventure. Let me jump over here. Where's my model? There's my model. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Alright, and... Hello! OKUSEN! They should be able to hear you if I have this set up. I'm setting up the thing so they can actually see you right now. But you are...
Hello.
Alright, it looks like it's... It looks like it's reading. Alrighty. Got a big logo for your character. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't do any sizing or anything.
It's fine. It's fine. Let me just rearrange it and then move. Oh, whoop, that was the wrong button. Moved it too far. There we go. Doing it live. Alrighty. Welcome in. Sorry, I realized I might have been a little bit rushed when I called you earlier. But I was kind of panicky.
No, it's alright. I had to do some things in the morning that I was not expecting.
Okay. Yeah, I went grocery shopping this morning. And there was a whole thing where it was like, I was supposed to go, my friend was like, gonna take me grocery shopping. And she texted me last night and she's like, is noon okay? And I'm like, I have a thing at 3 p.m. Can you guarantee I'll be home by 3? I'll be done by 3 p.m. And she's like, do you have to be somewhere by 3 p.m. or do you need to be home by 3 p.m.? I'm like, I need to be home by 3 p.m. And she's like, okay, that might be cutting it too close. I'm going to pick you up at 11. I'm like, great. Set alarms on my phone and everything. I wake up like 10:30. Normally whenever she's taking me grocery shopping, she texts me first thing in the morning, like when she gets up, and she's like, hey, I'm awake, here's my ATA. But then I hadn't heard anything from her, so I was like, oh no. So like at like 10:45, 10:50, I texted her and I was like, hey, just like let me know when you're on your way. And then she got back to me and said that there was some other stuff that had come up and she had to go pick up some stuff for her pets. And then she was going to come from the pet supply, from the Petco or whatever, straight to pick me up. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And then she picked me up and I was like, okay. And we went grocery shopping and that was good. I went to your favorite place.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Kimberly, good to see you in chat. Good to see you. Let me make you a little bigger. Okay. But yeah, I picked up some ramen and some other stuff. Some of the store brand vegan stuff was just cheaper, and got some stuff. I had a really, I won't go into all the specifics, but there was a point where I almost paid with the wrong card. And like, well, I kind of did pay with the wrong card, but then I was able to get it to give me change back afterwards. So then I was able to give my friend the money, and then she PayPal'd me back, so that way I could put the money back on my card. So it was this whole loop-de-loop. I ended up losing like 85 cents, but I'm like, you know what? Losing 85 cents for me being an idiot, I've lost more money for less reason. But
I've certainly also lost much less money for less reason.
Mm-hmm. You say much less or much more?
Much more. I've lost much more money for much less reason.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay, so before we get started, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Very important question. What would you like to be called when you are on stream? I know you've gone by a few different names. I've referred to as OKUSEN primarily. I think I referred to you as another name one time on stream, but like, because that's your YouTube name. So how dost thou wish to be viewed or referred to? Because I know you've had a few different names and aliases, and if we're going to do a streamed game, I should know what to tell people to call you.
Yeah, you can just call me Jalen.
Okay.
That's what we'll be using when we play, so.
Okay. Well, if you wanted to go by an alias when we played, that could be a thing.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't want to forget my own thing.
All right. So everyone, this is Jalen, and just introduce yourself a little bit, and your pronouns, a little blurb about you, so everyone can know you a little bit more than just the person in my chat.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jalen. I've been friends with Orian for a little over 2 years now. Randomly stumbled on one of his streams one day. Ended up in one of his Lancer games. We've been good buds ever since. Outside of that, I'm just a little puny little poltergeist that barely exists. Not much more to it.
Okay, and your pronouns?
He, they.
Alrighty. So, also, OKUSEN here kind of sells themselves a little bit short. That OKUSEN, as I mentioned in the last stream, is the one who's kind of the idea person between the two of us. You muted yourself, OKUSEN, or Jalen. Jalen is the idea person who has the kind of crazy ideas. Whenever we'll go on talking, Jalen will go off on a tangent and have an idea, and then I do my best to try to like put these ideas together to come up with ways to make these ideas work. And Jalen is very much the imaginative idea person between the two of us, having these crazy, outlandish ideas that we work together to make work and fit in different stories and settings. And Jalen, we have talked for many times, just having good conversation. I mean,
I've never once had an idea. Orion is just gassing me up, but that's okay. I appreciate it.
It was your idea for us to learn Blender together.
If you say so. If you say so.
I was gonna do stop motion, and you were like, you know, what about Blender?
I'm so glad we're doing Blender instead of stop motion.
That would be. Hold on one second. That would have been an interesting experience.
I mean, it still might come up. Who knows?
Yeah, it still might come up. 1 second. I need to make sure that I message people. All right.
Yeah, Orion has an incredible ability to make sense of my chaotic ramblings. often in the hours between 8 p.m. and 5 to sometimes 7 a.m. while I'm at work, losing my mind. It's an incredible skill that he has.
I tend to just brute force stuff. Just throw stuff at the wall till till stuff works and fits. And yeah, I would say we're good with stories. Jalen is definitely one of the ones that like I'll run a story by first before I run it to anyone else who gives me feedback and points out plot holes and things and ideas. That just helps me with like, well, you know, what if you went in this direction? What if you went in that direction? Jalen can be a little bit of a doom poster sometimes, and has a little bit of a cynical streak to them sometimes. But I think that having that gives an interesting perspective to some of my more optimistic and fantastical stories.
That's crazy. I'm literally the happiest person you know.
There used to be a joke about like when someone would say something that was so very untrue. The joke was that like you'd like scoot away from them because you didn't want to be caught in the blast when they got smited for lying so badly.
That's a good thing we're very far away right now. Because I wouldn't want to get caught up in your AoE.
Oh, in my AoE. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. So. Let me get. Also, if anyone is watching on YouTube, if you could like the stream, it helps the algorithm with putting it out to more people, and all of that jazz. Let me get. Check something. Okay, everything appears to still be connected. I'm always panicking after all this stuff. Oh yeah, hold on let me. Oh my gosh. Why does AVG keep setting itself as the default? Can I uninstall AVG browser? Hold on. Can I just uninstall AVG browser? There we go. AVG secure browser. Doing it live, chat. Okay. All right. So now it should open with. Okay, there we go. Cool. I was trying to open my dashboard with Restream to make sure everything was reading properly. And there we go. Making sure my dashboard was reading. Because I realize it's not showing me the stuff. That's not the button I want. No. Because it's not showing me the thing where my stream elements just said in chat earlier when it went up to an ad with like, hey, we're going to an ad break. And that didn't show up in my Restream chat, and I don't know why. And I'm just panicking that it's going to be weird and it's going to be like doing the stuff again like last night. Oh my gosh. Did you get a chance to tune into last night's stream for much of it, Jalen?
No, just the beginning.
So, like, partway through the stream, like towards the end, I went to check my dashboard and everything, like as I want to do. Normally, I don't need to do that because OBS shows me when this stuff's happening. And I saw there was a first-time chatter and that it said something on Twitch, and it hadn't popped up in my Restream chat. And I was like, why didn't that pop up? And then I went through a whole thing, and I realized that my Twitch wasn't communicating with Restream. So I had to end the Twitch stream and restart the Twitch stream in order to like make it work. And whoever that was had come and gone. And yeah, but I did 2 combat encounters last night, one medium, one very hard. And the encounter generation method seemed to be pretty good with how it came together. And when the second encounter, that was the very hard boss encounter where one character just straight up died in the test encounter. I was like, that was a really great encounter. And then I opened up OBS to check stuff, and I realized I had my layers improper, and I had my notepad over my browser source in OBS. So no one saw the battle map of all the things that was happening.
Oh, man.
And I was like, well, great. Awesome. Outstanding. Wonderful. And then I was like, why did no one tell me? And then Nabiru said that she had been working on something else and listening to me in the background, and just thought I didn't realize I was even using a system for this, and just thought I was making up a story as I went. And Chicken Man's was like, oh, I had you in the background while I was gaming. And I'm like, I guess that works. But it was really funny. So now I'm like, I must make sure everything is functional. I must make sure everything functions.
Yeah, that served to prevent a worse situation later.
Yeah. I still have to figure out how I'm going to like space everything in order to make sure the dice rolls can appear on screen. But we'll see what that looks like. Let me see something. All right, we are going. But how are you doing? What's up with you? I haven't really talked a whole bunch about my stuff because I kind of went into my stuff last night. I still need to work on learning more Blender and more stuff about animation. But tell the chat what's been new with you.
Oh boy.
Or whatever you're comfortable with.
I just been busy working lately.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, been working a lot, trying to save up some money.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of life going on.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I finally started playing Monster Hunter Rise kind of seriously.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those games always overwhelmed me.
Mm-hmm.
I just get overstimulated by them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was playing with someone from work.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And we've got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out soon too. They're doing all the preview releases. Have you seen the stuff about that?
I really only saw the announcement stuff.
Yeah, they were doing leading up to this latest games convention. Every day they were doing things where they were showcasing each of the weapons and like some of the new stuff that they're adding to each weapon that makes each weapon like different and special in the new game. And people have been studying that and breaking it down. I think there's like a games convention this weekend where they're letting people play a test version of the game.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff because like so Rise was a side game, which is why there's like less content in it as opposed to something like World and Iceborne, which was a main game. Monster Hunter World was effectively Monster Hunter 5. And Rise was a game made for the Wii as not the Wii, what's the thing? What's the portable Nintendo system that's out right now?
The Switch.
Yeah, that thingy. I mean, listen to me showing my age talking about the Wii. Oh my gosh. The Wii wasn't even a portable system. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Sorry.
But yeah, for the Switch was what Rise was, and then they ported it to PC. And but Rise is fun. I've played Rise. I haven't beaten Rise. I got into Rise a little bit late. I was playing Rise with my partner and some of her friends, and then we all kind of just got busy with life and kind of just dropped off of doing the game time stuff. And then like once you like fall out of stuff, it's like it's hard to get back into the middle of it.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's got a lot of mobility and double jumping and all of that stuff. What weapon do you use in Rise?
I'm still figuring that out. We did the first like 3 smaller quests before you do your urgent quest.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried out a different weapon each time. I
Mm-hmm.
tried the sword and shield, the I forget what the horn is called,
Hunting
but
horn.
the hunting horn and the insect glaive.
Ooh, nice. I remember when the insect glaive came out. I was like, in I think it was 4 Ultimate when it came out. It was the new weapon, and I was like, this is totally like when I saw like it had verticality in a way none of the other weapons had, and like with the bug and all of the stuff with it, I was like, this is totally just like the protagonist weapon. And then we got the charge blade, and it's like, no, that's really the protagonist weapon.
Yeah, I haven't checked out the charge blade yet, but yeah, that's pretty spot on for the insect glaive. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, the thing that bugs me that I'm hoping they fix with the insect glaive is that some of the most fun stuff of the insect glaive is the aerial combos, right? That's the thing. But when it comes to actually getting the most DPS, you get the most DPS with the ground combos. So for like speedrunners and people who are trying to like get really good clear times, like it's just not worth it to be in the air doing mobile stuff. Like I realize there's a trade-off because when you're in the air, you're less likely to get hit. But it would just be nice if the aerial combos were like more competitive.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but me, I am a greatsword main. Big, honkin' greatsword.
Mm-hmm. Hard to go wrong.
Yep. I love me some greatsword. I've been playing it. I've dabbled in all of the weapons a little bit. Like I love doing. In World, I had a whole build that I used to use for group stuff in World and Iceborne. That was a support build, which that was funny. Basically, there was this skill called Mushroom Mancer in World and Iceborne where it let you eat, because you had mushrooms that you could grow, and you could either grow them through some of the stuff in World, or you could find them, or get like them to drop or whatever, or trade for them. And normally the mushrooms were ingredients in other things, right? But the Mushroom Mancer let you eat those and provide different buffs to you. And there's this thing that says whenever you gain a buff, your allies nearby gain a buff and gain a portion of that buff, right? And the more ranks you had in the skill, the wider the area and the more of the buff. And then when it got to max range, it was like the whole party gets 100% of the buff, and it also included healing. And so the thing with the sword and shield that made it really special was that you could consume consumable items without sheathing your weapon with the sword and shield.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the thing about, like, you can, as the sword and shield player, go from like providing damage and being useful in the battle to providing healing and buffs to the allies without having to stop to sheath your weapon and just going really fast. And with the Mushroom Mancer build, and you put it with the shortcuts, and you could just blaze through stuff really fast. And I used to love using that for my friends because I was way ahead of them in the game. And if I used my stuff to like do damage, I would just kill the monster really, really fast. So in order to like participate with my lower ranked friends, I would use the support builds in order to support them as they were playing. Which that was always fun.
But yeah, I can see myself going that way. The hunting horn is fun for that too. It's just, but I definitely haven't figured it out yet. But the sound of the hunting horn can get a little.
Yeah. And I think different hunting horns have different sounds.
That makes sense. The one I was using, I think the Defender one that just started, not incredibly pleasant to listen to.
Yeah, toot toot, all that jazz. It's funny. As much as I love the Greatsword, when I was playing World, waiting for Iceborne to come out on PC, in Monster Hunter World, they released these things that were called Arc Tempered. So Tempered were like the highest difficulty enemies in the game, right? They were like basically a monster that has fought a hunter and escaped and has grown exponentially and has grown vastly stronger from the experience of surviving fighting a hunter, right? And then an Arc Tempered is that even more. New moves, new attack patterns, higher damage, higher HP pool, and just brutal all the way around. And Nergigante is my favorite monster. Nergigante was a huge wall for me when I played Monster Hunter World, and then I had to learn that fight inside and out to the point that I came to just love that monster because it became my favorite fight and my favorite monster. And the thing with Nergigante was that it was a fight that rewarded you for being offensive and aggressive. It rewarded you for fighting back. If you tried to play it safe in the Nergigante fight, he would get to his super mode too fast and be dealing so much damage that you would just either time out or he would kill you. In order to because the whole thing with Nergigante is he has spikes that grow, and as you hit him, you break the spikes off. But if the spikes don't break off, they harden, and when they harden, he does more damage, and he has higher defense, and your weapons are more likely to bounce. So if you play defensively, you won't break the spikes off before they harden, and then it just becomes too hard to hurt him. And if you play offensively, you can shatter the spikes and keep going, and it was just a great fight. And then, but when Arc Tempered Nergigante came out, he was just another wall. I couldn't get past him. I couldn't do anything. No matter what I did, his attack patterns were too hard and too fast with what I had in World. So I built a Lance set that was using a set bonus setup where I was constantly regenerating health, and every time I dealt damage, I was regenerating health. And it was like every time I dealt damage, I was regenerating health, and Lance is all about defense. So then I had to be on the offense while being at the defense, and that was just this beautiful moment where I had to memorize all of his moves, and I had his attack patterns memorized to the point that I was poke, 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 shield, 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 poke, 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 shield, 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 poke, 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 poke. And it was this intense fight that took me 3 weeks to finally be able to beat Arc Tempered Nergigante. And he was the last challenge of base World before Iceborne came out. And then after you beat him, it starts playing, because he was the last challenge before Iceborne, it starts playing the Iceborne main theme. I had not heard the Iceborne main theme. And it's this uplifting and almost angelic song, right? Especially compared to some of the more guttural and intense tones of World. So having this emotional music start playing after one of the most intense hunts of my life was just this magical moment. But it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah. Monster Hunter is a great game, and what I really like about Monster Hunter is that someone asked their production team if they were ever going to introduce microtransactions to the game, right? And they were like, not really, which I guess we kind of side-eye Monster Hunter now a little bit, but that's a whole different story. And they're like, what we want is for a situation where if you run into a wall, a monster you can't beat, you can't just pay your way to get past it. You have to look at your strategy. You have to learn the monster. You have to change up your armor set, change up your weapon, farm the right materials, and interact with the game in order to get past the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really respect that. In the age of microtransactions, I really respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to ever do microtransactions, I would pray that they were purely cosmetic. But even then, it just feels against the spirit of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, they did do some stuff where like you could get some skins towards the end of World and Iceborne, and I think they had some stuff where you could pay for like the thing that lets you change your hunter's looks, your hunter's face, and like kind of like cosmetic stuff. And then there's Monster Hunter Now, which is a mobile game. But then I think for that, you're just like, you can just pay for like more of the thing that makes the monsters drop double resources and stuff. But Monster Hunter Now is very much a different animal in and of itself. Anyway, but yeah, Monster Hunter, great. I'm glad you're having fun with it. It took me a second to be like, how do we get started talking about Monster Hunter again? It's actually kind of interesting. I've seen, because we're getting ready to make a character in D&D 5e, I've seen people do some like Monster Hunter homebrews for D&D, right? Where they introduce the weapons as special weapon types, or as like or the hunter as a special class that lets you have different optional moves based on what weapon you have equipped. In order to add some more versatility to combat. But the one thing that they do try to add that's really interesting is crafting, the crafting system, where you can gather materials from downed enemies and use them to craft your weapons and equipment, and to add different mechanics or abilities to things based on what you got the piece from.
Okay.
Which that's really fun homebrew stuff. We can kind of interact with that with the GITR system, with saying that people are using scrap for like crafting items and stuff. But we'll tinker with that. That's another thing that we can tinker with as I play around with this system. All right.
Yeah, I have I was in a campaign,
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, the setting of that campaign has multiple games in it.
Mm-hmm.
And for all those games, my GM has there's a crafting system, but there's also you only level up through consuming a certain item that is made from monster parts and different alchemical ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And the stats that you can level up are based on what ingredients you're using, and it is very rigorous and intimidating, but it's fun when you get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's one of the things I like about D&D is how like it's so simplified in some areas and complex in other areas that it makes for very malleable for like customization, which allows it to fit in a lot of different formats and things. But that's one of the things that makes it kind of like and I don't know if detriment's the right word, but a thing that a large portion of the TTRPG community, or at least a portion of the TTRPG community that does not play D&D or that does not like D&D finds frustrating. Because so many D&D 5e players are just playing D&D 5e, or they just keep customizing or modifying D&D 5e instead of learning other games. And the system is very capable of being molded, and the community is very creative for doing that stuff. People are like, I saw someone post a meme that was talking about how like, oh, your corporate website that you interact with or your big website you use to interact with corporate TTRPGs did something terrible again. Maybe you shouldn't be a corporate chill and give your money to online independent deranged creators online. And I was like, I don't know what angle you're going with here. But
yeah, that's yeah.
Because
But I
yeah, because did you hear about the whole thing with D&D Beyond?
the recent thing or the initial?
The recent thing.
No, what happened recently?
So they are releasing this year D&D 2024, which is their kind of updated version of D&D 5e. It's essentially a 5.5e. But it's designed to be backwards compatible with 5e because they had to keep selling books. They were afraid that if they made it not backwards compatible, no one would keep buying their books as soon as they announced that they were making a new D&D. So they've changed some stuff with character creation, but all of the base things and adventures and NPCs and stuff still can interact from D&D 5e, but they are releasing, I think in September sometime, they're releasing the new player's handbook, and some people have gotten like test copies to do like reviews of it and stuff. And apparently it just got announced that like on D&D Beyond, the big website that so many people use for D&D stuff, where people have bought so much official content, right? Once the new player's handbook goes on sale, they are going to remove all of the old spells and items and replace it with the new. Well, I don't know if they're going to replace it or they're just removing it from D&D Beyond. And the thing with D&D Beyond is that if you've bought the content or if you've been given access to it, like if your game master bought it or something, you can drag and drop it onto your character sheet and you use it for making characters and running games.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, so these magic items and these spells are going to be disappearing, and so you're going to have to, I guess, buy the new player's handbook in order to gain access to the new spells and magic items.
That's so incredibly Wizards of the Coast. That's really upsetting.
Yeah. There's been memes about it. And that was the meme where people were like, oh, your website that was the point of that meme where it's like, oh, the website you used to interact with corporate TTRPG, with a corporate TTRPG did something bad again. And yeah.
Play Fate. Everybody play Fate. I'm gonna hijack the stream for 5 seconds to say everybody play Fate. The end.
The end. I gotta cover Fate sometime. I gotta learn Fate and cover it.
You know how to tell a story?
I don't know. I question that sometimes.
Well, I was assuming I should have known you would answer like that. But you do, which means you know how to play Fate. Boom, boot it up.
But anyway, it's going on 4 p.m. Let's get rolling to the actual stuff. I'm going to literally be creating the scene that we're going to be in OBS for like showing the stuff for like having both of us on the screen at the same time as we're going. So give me a second.
Like fun.
Yep. Okay. We are going to... Oh, that's not the button I wanted. Duplicate. Collab with... Okay. And then let me get... And of course, Chrome doesn't want to connect. There we go. Got that. Can you say something?
Hello.
Okay, Discord's still reading. Alright, then we will... Okay, remove that. Change out the browser source. Okay. Okay, make the browser source a little bit smaller. Gonna kinda...
I didn't think about how it would look like I am shooting you.
You're holding me at gunpoint. Okay. There we go. All right. I need to figure out how to have things on here. Let me try something real quick. Boop 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 boop. Can I wish I could like pop out the chat feature. And then make it its own window. Anyway, let's get back down to it. Let's get to making the character. So let's take a look at your character. Darolio is your character you've made so far, right? Tell me about your character.
Well, so far, and I apologize for not being very prepared. So far, they are simply a druid centaur, circle of the stars. As you can see, 10 strength, 13 dex, 16 con, 12 intelligence, 16 wisdom, and an 8 in charisma, because they are a bit of a dweeb.
Okay.
Orion and I were talking about the lore for this game, and we were thinking about maybe communities such as like druid circles and different clerical faiths were probably some of the leading archivists for history before the world lost its magic. And we were thinking maybe my character comes from a circle that that was a big part of that. So they're kind of like, they're younger, but they've kind of got that early internet, the early internet vibe, if you know what I mean, without all of the toxic stuff.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get the document open. I didn't want to show the inside of my Google Drive to people. Let me get the document open for the blah blah blah. We get the counter generator and the latest rules document, and we will create a new Google Doc. Or what? Derolio is your character's name?
Yes.
Okay, Derolio. Okay.
I haven't exactly pinned down their vibe yet.
Okay. What background did you choose?
Oh, I knew there was something I was missing. I was staring at the sheet when I was filling it out, and I was like, what?
I noticed you don't have any features listed for the druid stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't, I just haven't inscribed it all yet.
Okay. All right.
420 is a tedious ETT.
Yeah, it has like this great customization where you can make anything, but then you have to make everything if you don't buy it.
Yeah.
So, you're a druid. Okay.
Let's see the background.
That determines some of your proficiencies, and it can also give you it might give you some starting gold, some starting monies.
Yeah.
Let's look at druid stuff. That was not the button I wanted. That was not the button I wanted. There we go. Druid class details. Let's look at druid. You get druid circle, wild shape. Okay. At level 3, doesn't look like there's any big features besides whatever you get for that, so we can just drag on druid. Okay, if I put the stuff on your character sheet?
Oh, more than okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we got that. Clash druid. And let me do this. Da 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 da. That wasn't the button I wanted. I wish it would add the druid level 2 of wild shape. Whatever, I'll just grab wild shape. Feature. Why is it not letting me drag it on? only adding the class. I need to change this to advantage toggle. Level. Druid. Why is it not adding the Druid level 2 things? It's not adding wild shape. That's really annoying.
Let's see.
I can't directly add wild shape. Okay. Well, I guess just gotta manually add it then.
Yeah, it's alright.
Class. Druid. Wild shape. Oh, it's a complicated one. Okay.
I will likely
Mm-hmm.
be sticking to the subclass wild shape feature.
Okay.
So it's probably not necessary
Mm-hmm.
to have too much info on it.
We are just going... Beach could transform into...
How would you feel about we take the archaeologist background, but we retheme it to be...
I've never heard of the archaeologist background.
It is from what the heck is it from? It's from Tomb of Annihilation. So
Okay.
what if we took this and we rethemed it to be instead of visiting historical sites, it was visiting like old internet forums.
Ooh, so an internet archaeologist.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Log into that druidic Wayback Machine.
Okay. Okay, I put all the stuff in about wild shape. So you have... Okay. Internet archaeologist. Okay. What's the wow, before we get too far into this, what traits do you get for your race? Because you're a centaur.
Ah, yes. I'm not used to actually putting everything on the Roll20 sheet. So let's pull that up.
Okay.
So, they have a speed of 40 feet.
Okay.
They are considered fey. You get the charge action.
Why are there 3 different books that the centaur came in? That's funny.
Yeah, that is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got Mordenkainen's.
Ravnica and Theros.
Oh, Theros.
But it looks like the stuff's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have charge, equine build, and hooves.
Yep. It's like you've got survivor and the same languages. Okay. All right, let's put this on here. Charge. Charge is not something you're going to be able to use as a mech pilot, but if you're on foot, that can be relevant.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay. See, we got charge. And can push and drag.
I was between Centaur and Fairy, both purely just flavor choices, both being fey creatures, both being a little silly.
Okay. So what made you go with Centaur?
Just my gut.
Okay.
It just felt more accurate to the person I was thinking of.
Okay.
I can just picture them trotting around with their glasses and their little iPad.
Okay, 1d6 plus strength. You've got hooves.
By doing that, I will update my proficiency.
Should have all the basic ones for being a druid. You get the
Yeah, I got those in.
And then because druid only gets specific things, you can pick 2 things from the GITR weapons list to become proficient in.
Okay. Look at that list of other proficiencies. Very long.
Hooves. Yeah, so you've got, so you can get any weapon. Well, not any weapon, because you have You've got sickle. You do have the scimitar, so you can get you can get a martial. You can get martial weapons because you do have scimitar. And
Okay.
blah, 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 blah. Natural affinity. Do you want animal handling, medicine, nature, or survival?
I took nature for that.
Okay. And then you've got your languages. What language do you want to be your bonus language?
I threw in Sylvan.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say for animal handling, you can replace animal handling if you were proficient in animal handling. You can replace that with machinery.
Okay.
Which means that you are trained in like interacting with mechanical things and like fine-tuning machinery and all of that kind of stuff. So that is an option.
That's good to know.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Hero Girls.
Oh. Hey, Hero Girls. Good to see you. Sorry, that reminds me, I didn't have the chat on always on top, and I was like, I'm forgetting something. There we go. Now I can keep track of chat. Okay. Got hooves. Okay, now let's look up archaeology. You get history and survival for that.
Yes, sir.
You already got that one? Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Interesting stuff. But the big thing with the archaeologist is you start with 25 gold pieces, which is 2,500 credits.
Hey.
That can come in handy for building your character. Okay. There's a lot of
I think the big thing is that I get a 10-foot pole.
Prior to becoming an adventurer, you spent most of your life crawl. Okay. All right. Here's the thing. This is supposed to be that item that you have for the Dust Digger feature is supposed to be something you use during your life as an archaeologist. And 10-foot pole works as if you're digging up ruins and stuff as you're like testing traps and stuff. But what would be a tool that you would have been using for your internet archaeologist studies?
Yeah, I've been trying to think.
Maybe like a data drive or something with like with extended storage. Like you have your own, you have your own hard drive, or maybe you have discs, like hard copies of different files backed up onto like discs.
Yeah.
I just think that just sounds really funny. Like, if there's anything that's like archivist thing, like, yes, my stuff's not on a digital backup, it's on a hard copy backup.
Sorry, I was turning my air conditioning on. Yeah, I agree. I want I want it to somehow be a stone tablet, or like lots of stone tablets. Some storage device that you could make look like a stone tablet.
Maybe the case it's in is a stone case that you keep them in.
Okay, yeah, that the amount of extra weight that would add.
How much do you think it would weigh?
Oh boy. I mean, let me see.
Okay, now let's look at what else we got.
What's the heaviest item on this list? The sledgehammer, probably.
Okay, so historical knowledge feature would be if you look on a website, you can, no matter how old, you can ascertain its original purpose and determine who made it, whether it was made by like the dwarves, elves, human, or some other race, or some other organization or cult or whatever. You can just determine who made it, and you can determine what would be the equivalent of monetary value.
I mean, the forums and such that they would have been digging through would be on. It would be cultural. So it could still be art.
Okay.
But it could also be. I was gonna say scrap. Scrap is an actual named resource. But like old machinery.
Ooh, I have a thought. So, to everybody else, scrap is just that. It's just scrap. It is just raw materials. It is random things that are old and used and are just only use is to be broken down and recycled into making new things, right? What if your character has a feature where you can take an amount of scrap, and you can determine if there's anything that's actually of value in the scrap. So like you can spend an amount of scrap for a chance to actually get something useful.
That sounds fun.
So like you could be like, you can so it would be how'd I put it? It would be like you could, instead of just harvesting scrap, actually, idea, brainwave. Remember we were talking about the whole thing with making things out of monsters, right?
Yes.
The primary way to get scrap is to pull it off of salvaging mechs and toms and things you fight, right? So what if your thing is you can, whenever you do something, you can get an item that's like a one-use item that gives you access to some feature or ability that the NPC had for like a one-use item instead of getting scrap from it. What do you think?
It definitely sounds really interesting. It might be a bit too much work on your part. It's definitely
definitely
upscales the original function in the future.
Or there is the really simple answer. The like boil it down, really simple answer. Normally, when you sell scrap, you can only sell it for 100 credits per ton of scrap. But then with my rules, you buy scrap at 150 credits per ton of scrap, right? With your feature, you would know when you sell the scrap, you'd be able to upsell it. So maybe you could sell the scrap for 200 credits a ton. Because you know the value of the parts.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest something like that. Yeah, I think that sounds fine. And then we just turn this into the scrap dealer roleplay game that you were afraid it would become. We turn this into an economic RPG.
Well, what's funny is you're gonna have some very interesting interactions with Hattie's character, right? Because Hattie's character is a scrap dealer, like searches battlefields for scrap and stuff, right? And was a scrap dealer, and now that character's focus has been shifted to finding parts and equipment for upgrading their mech that they found, that there's this precious mech that they care about. So it'll be interesting to see how that interacts. And on the flip side of that also, I've been talking to Hattie about this. This isn't set in stone. But Hattie hasn't responded, so I'm probably going to message her later and be like, hey, did you read this? I was going through the rules, right? And there was a part in the beginning where it talked about translating creature types into from fantasy to technological, right? And when you look at the Fae one, it says Fae are AI assisted, which is any mad mecha whose computer systems are assisted by a sapient artificial intelligence. So I looked at that and I was like, what if this is the thing? So the thing we had for the Zoids, for Hattie, was that the Zoids were originally developed by CD Corp, Century Downsize Corp, years ago, as they were these revolutionary things that instead of being shaped like humanoids, they were shaped like animals, and they had basic animal level intelligence and were to a certain extent sentient, right? And that assistance help with combat and help with a variety of situations, right? But then whenever the Toms happened, people were afraid and panicked at first, and people were associating the Zoids with the Toms. So that drove and because of that, and also a smear campaign from a competitor, CD Corp got driven into bankruptcy had to shut down, and so now there are abandoned CD Corp factories and warehouses and supply caches all across the planet, right? All across the surface of Sage. And nobody's dealt with them. Well, some people will go into them and find them, but like actually getting a functioning Zoid is difficult. And Hattie's character found one and has been treasuring it, and they also found the hover cargo, which is their ship that they transport on. So the idea was, what I was expressing to Hattie was this idea that what if I take that, because I'm not using all of the mecha type stuff, right? But what if I took that with it and was like, okay, these are AI assisted, but they're Fae. So what if that's what the Fae did? The Fae lost their magic, and so what they started doing was delving into AI, right? And so the Fae, so CD Corp was a Fae company, right? That was building these AI assisted machines, and that there's some connection to the Fae with the Zoids. Now, none of this is set in stone because Hattie hasn't responded, and it does directly tie to Hattie's character, so I don't want to say I'm doing it without getting Hattie's go-ahead on it. But if she does say that she's cool with that, that could be a very interesting interaction with your character, because your character is an archaeologist and does deal in scrap, and your character is a Fae. So you might have had some relatives or some connection, like in your family history, to CD Corp.
Mm-hmm. You see, what they don't tell you is the C's stand for centaur.
Okay. Okay.
What does the D stand for?
It's century downsize.
Century downsize.
I asked Hattie to name it because it was part of Hattie's backstory, and Hattie was like, I literally put Zoid's New Century 0 into an anagram thing, and it gave me century downsize.
I like that. That's cool.
And I was like, okay.
Well, you know, there's a certain subset of people in certain forums. I wonder what we would call the internet. Probably lean into the web thing. Regardless, there's a certain group of people that very problematically believe that what CD Corp truly stood for was centaur domination.
Oh my gosh.
Ironically, the centaurs, one of the least AI associated group of Fae.
Okay. Okay, so there we go. When you open an old forum or website, you can correctly determine its original purpose and determine its builders, whether those were dwarves, elves, human, Yanti, or some other unknown race. In addition, you can determine the value of random pieces of scrap and can sell scrap for 200 CR instead of 100 CR. Okay. Did any of the personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws jump out to you? I like these as tools for like giving people a good starting point for like where they put together the idea of their character. Which is why I'm really sad that D&D 2024 essentially removed these.
Yeah, I really like them as at least starting points.
Mm-hmm.
I do like I'm happier in a dusty old tomb as a starting point at least.
Okay.
But of course, I'm happier buried in my screen rather than dusty old tomb.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and they're definitely largely motivated by preservation. Um, just naturally, as a druid, they believe in preservation of the natural. Um, they view the toms as abominations potentially, and a risk to preserving the natural state of things,
Was
and a
there
roadblock.
mm-hmm.
But,
Was there a second personality trait that stuck out to you? Because you normally get 2 personality traits.
I never knew that.
Yep, 2 personality traits, 1 ideal, 1 bond, 1 flaw.
Um, I guess probably numbers. I don't know if it's number 7, and
I might fail, but I will never give up.
yeah, probably just go with that.
Okay. Okay.
They definitely are a bit of a hoarder, but not to the point that it defines them too strictly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would be, let's see, bonds? Your bond is something you care about. Any of these bonds jump out to you?
Let's see. Hmm. Right now, I'm thinking between 1 and 6. Something. Mhm. I'm feeling number 1 because they would very much be into. I mean, they're largely motivated by um, either finding a way to restore the old ways, restore magic,
Mm-hmm.
and such, restore the druids'
Mm-hmm.
natural connection to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can't do that, at the very least want to make sure um, that the memory of that time is preserved.
Mm-hmm. Which
Um,
number did you say you were looking at?
Number 1, not the exact wording, but
Yeah, it's a good starting point. So you've heard stories of the lost magic, essentially, and you want to find its secrets, uh, and you want to find the lost magic.
yeah, and I think it might be specifically like they've heard stories of how powerful druidic magic in particular was.
Okay. And once you find it, you'll earn your place in the history books. They'll write forums about you.
I don't think they're so much into them being in the history book specifically, but maybe their circle.
Okay. All right, and one flaw. Let's look at the flaws. I like number 5. It's so funny.
I was gonna say, I have number 5. I have number 5, and I also have number 2 in real mundane life. Sometimes I search my own room for secret doors. I think probably number 2 is good, except it's not specifically rooms, it's also like forums.
Okay.
Can't drop a topic without, or struggles to drop a topic without exploring it for fully.
What if it's a thing where like you're an archaeologist, so it could be like a hacker kind of thing, right? Anytime you go on a website, what if the first thing you do is you look for hidden pages, non-printing symbols, invisible text, some kind of a pattern or a message on the website?
Yeah. I think that is exactly what it is. And on that note, I was gonna ask if I could exchange the tool proficiencies. If instead of cartographer's tools or navigator's tools,
do hacker's tools?
Yeah.
From the thing?
Yeah.
That's yeah, hacker's tools. Actually, you don't have to. You have Arcana. In the rules, it says, when a class has the Arcana skill in its list of skill proficiencies or Thieves tools in its list of tool proficiencies, add Hacker's tool proficiencies to the list of tool proficiencies and increase the number of tool proficiencies a player can choose from a class's list of tool proficiencies by 1. So you just increase the max by 1, and then you just add this as an option. So you just pick that with the new free slot you just got.
Oh, okay. I only saw the Thieves tool part. I missed.
The Arcana. Yep.
Cool.
So you've got Hacker's tools.
Pushes up classes.
Yep. I'm in. Now I have to. So there's a. Hold on.
I just tried to search the compendium for hackers tools.
No, I wish there was a GITR supplement. Gotta make everything. Okay. Okay.
I think that this character very much has kind
Mhm.
of the mindset of a wizard
Uh-huh.
more so than a druid.
Uh-huh.
Even though they aren't necessarily the best suited for it, but I
Mhm.
respect that.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's uh so there's this concept about not just D&D but TTRPGs in general. And that is that everything that a player puts on their character sheet is a vote for something they want to have happen in the campaign.
Mhm.
So you're making a character that's very much dealing with the software side, dealing with the hacking and the secret messages and the secrets, right? And the hidden forums and all of that stuff, right? So that means I need to introduce more software related things to the story than I was going to in order to give you something to use this with. You can add thieves tools and change. I'll say you can add thieves tools to your items. So just drag it on there and then change the name to hackers tools. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so we got the archaeology, got the centaur. You can turn into anything CR 1/4 or lower with no flying or swimming speed. And okay. I
Do
think.
you, sorry,
No, go for it.
do you use the all of the extra optional features that Tasha's adds?
I'm not familiar with all of them. What extra features are you referring to specifically?
It's okay. It's not a big deal. And Druid only gets one by level 3, I think.
Mhm.
It is Wild Companion. You can expend a use of Wild Shape. You cast Find Familiar with some added caveats.
Without material components. The familiar is a fae instead of a beast, and a familiar disappears after a number of hours equal to half your druid level. And also you get another thing they have is additional druid spells. Expands the spell list.
Oh, that's not on my settings.
I'm on D&D Beyond where it has it listed. You got first level spell protection from evil and good, augury, continual flame, enlarge, reduce, and summon beast are new ones that you can prepare.
Okay.
But yeah, I got no problem adding that. Now,
Okay, cool.
now I gotta look and see if there's stuff for the other two players as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But just keep track of that. But yeah, you can do Wild Companion. I would flavor it as like you're using your stuff to like assemble a mechanical familiar, a little mechanical, like, well, gizmo, gadget, little robot.
Hmm. Yeah, like a chunk of the mech comes off and
Mm-hmm.
it's the shape.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good.
The other classes probably do have some notable optional features.
Okay. So let's get all the stuff situated with your pilot first. And then we'll do the mech stuff, okay? With like the gear and equipment.
Okay.
You get for your starting pilot gear. You get your starting armor. What armor does a druid start with? Let's take a look. For the starting equipment.
Oh man, I need a second monitor.
You get leather armor, explorer's pack, and a druidic focus. So that's gonna be your whatever your device is. Get leather armor, which that equivalent is going to be woven fiber cloth. Which is essentially just a renamed leather armor. And you got a shield, which is a shield. So just
I will rename them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the you start with. Oh, did you pick the two weapons you were going to be proficient in?
Oh no, let's look through those.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely suggest looking at the new document. I put a link to it in the Discord.
I think that's what I'm looking at right now.
Does it have everything in 2 columns?
Oh, everything in 2 columns.
If you look at the pinned, I think I pinned it. Yeah, the latest pinned. Yeah. There you are. Now I see you have it open.
I had the PDF open.
Ah.
What do you mean by 2 columns?
If you look at the text, it's not on the tables, but the text is split up into 2 columns.
Oh, aligned in the okay. Yeah.
But so you could look at, since you have a scimitar, you could do a additional weapon proficiencies. Oh, any two weapons. Okay, so any two weapons from anywhere on the table you can gain proficiency from. Could be ranged weapon, could be melee weapon. Anything you want. I would say look at the mech weapons because those are the ones you're going to be using mostly.
Okay.
Mech weapons start on page 20.
Yeah. Marshall. What's my boy looking like? Okay. Okay. No strength.
It's funny when it talked about art and being able to find the value of art. I was tempted to be like, what if you can just know the value of NFTs? And I'm like, I don't want NFTs in this game. You can find the value of NFTs, value 0.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the technology being used in some way, but specifically NFTs. I'd like to believe we are too cultured for that. Oh boy, a lot of weapons.
And if you gain proficiency in one type of a weapon, you have the proficiency in all forms of that weapon. So if you have proficiency in Magnum Mecha, you also have proficiency in Magnum Beam, and that also means that you have proficiency in Magnum Pilot Weapon.
Oh, okay. Oh, these some properties that I'm not super familiar with.
There are descriptions of the properties on page. It starts on page 22 and goes into page 23. The big one is recoil. It's essentially an inverted ranged equivalent of finesse. Recoil means the force of the shot has so much kickback that you can use strength to aim the weapon instead of using dexterity. And hip, which means you don't have disadvantage firing a weapon with hip when you're in melee range.
Okay.
Diffuse is the beam weapons. Diffuse works kind of like range, but not. So diffuse, well, there's two ranges. The one range is the regular range where you roll regularly, do regular damage. If it goes beyond the regular range and into the extended range up to the max, you still roll regularly, so you don't have disadvantage like regular range attack, but you only do half damage. Because the beam is diffusing. Hey, Noel Main, good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're working on character creation.
Hello. I think my character likes to be a little traditional and things. That's why they've got they've got their physical data
Mhm.
backups stored inside of stone tablets.
Yes.
So probably gonna just pick up mecha scimitar and
Well, you already have scimitar. You already have a scimitar proficiency, right?
oh, okay. I wasn't sure exactly.
Yeah, those translate over. If you're proficient in scimitars, you can use the mecha, the beam, the acid, the heat.
Okay, so this is additional.
Yes, this is additional.
Oh, I have too many tabs. Okay. Up stagger starts javelins made some.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it makes sense. I never would have thought that they don't have bow proficiency, but it does make sense.
You don't get that for being a centaur? I feel like that's the thing centaurs are known for.
Interesting point.
Let me look this up. Equine bill.
Yeah.
No, they don't give you proficiency in bows. That's really weird.
Huh.
Okay. Question mark?
Well, I'll just have to take missile launcher instead.
Missile launcher is not because it's a homing weapon, you don't roll to attack with it, so you don't really need proficiency. Homing weapons, you pick a target that's within range when you fire it, and you can either fire it as an attack, or if you use the attack action and you have an unfired missile launcher, you can fire the missile launcher at one time as a bonus action. And you pick a target that's within the homing range. At the start of that target's turn, all homing weapons that are targeted on that target rolls the damage, so the person knows how much damage is going to hit them. And at the end of their turn, they take that damage, but there are things they can do on their turn to reduce that damage.
Okay.
So it works kind of like magic missile.
I see.
Mm-hmm. And you don't add your ability modifier to the damage of it. Oh, you just you don't wait till their turn to roll. You just roll when you fire it. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, if you pick up I would say that you probably need to be proficient in a missile launcher to be able to fire it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that makes more sense. Because being able to just use any missile launcher feels like a bit like you even if it is homing, I guess. That's a weird one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you need to be proficient in a missile launcher to use it, even with the homing thing. Shoulder weapons, you can mount on a shoulder, so you don't have to hold them in a hand. That ignores the two-handed and versatile property of the weapon. When you fire the weapon, there's a number after the shoulder, which is like 0, 50, 100, depending on what weapon it is. And if you have less than that much movement left on your turn, you have disadvantage on the attack roll to fire it. And then after you're done firing the weapon, you lose that much movement for the rest of the turn. So it's like knocking you back and knocking you off balance. So it consumes some of your movement for the turn.
Okay.
Like the bazooka, for instance, has shoulder 100, means you need at least 100 feet left to fire it normally.
I think missile launcher is calling my name.
Okay. Which missile launcher? Actually, is there just how many missile launchers are there? Because there's the
simple ones and the martial ones.
Yeah. Because there's 4 different types of missile launchers. Missile launcher vertical. I'll say just pick one. Cluster, sonic, vertical, or regular.
Okay. Oh, that's wait. Okay. To cluster. Yeah, the cluster.
Okay. That's the big one, right? Yeah. There we go. That's better. All right, so put that on there. You got missile launcher cluster. That's one weapon. You've got another one you could grab too. That's a shoulder weapon, so you could just grab something that you would two-hand. What's your dex is a +1. Okay.
Yeah. What is steady, if you don't mind?
Steady means that if you are prone, you don't gain disadvantage for firing it. You instead gain, I believe, advantage. Hold on. When making an attack with a weapon with the steady property while prone, you have an advantage on the attack roll instead of disadvantage.
Okay.
You want to do the sniper?
Excuse me.
Be a Centaur Abiona?
No, that's okay. I do think we will have the second one be another traditional weapon, and we'll do a longbow.
Okay. Yep, longbow. Okay. Alrighty. All right, got that on there. Missile launcher longbow.
Cool.
Okay, so you've got those. Let's grab your pilot leather armor. You start with a shield or any simple melee weapon, and then a scimitar or any simple melee weapon. So got your shield, got your armor. You can select those weapons later. Let's get to the actual mech because it is after 5 p.m. so we need to get rolling.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to duplicate this. And what do you want your mech's name to be? You see where there's copy of Derolo? That's going to be your mech sheet. What do you want your mech name to be? I'll just put Derolio's mech for now.
Yeah, just
okay.
I'll work that out.
Okay. Okay, so you get the equivalent of leather armor and a shield. And this one you do want to pick the weapons for because these are the weapons that you are going to be picking up. You get a scimitar. Since you're getting a scimitar, you can replace the scimitar with a... The scimitar is a... starting weapons... So you can choose a martial weapon because you get a scimitar. This is for free. You get to buy weapons later. But this is just what you start with. So. And let's build your mech. So if you want to go down to chapter 4.5, which starts on page 38, we are going to, the actual parts themselves start on page 39. We're going to assemble your mech from these parts. So let me just remove the hacker's tools and backup disks. All right.
Oh, I don't actually seem to have access to the mech sheet.
Oh, you don't? It should have copied that over. I did not. Do you now? It should have appeared.
Yep, there it is.
Okay. All right. Let's get down to it. So for the arms, you need something with at least dexterity 13. So how this works, there for each stat, for the stat ones, there are two numbers. The first number is the lowest number that you can have to use that part properly. The max is the maximum amount that you can push that part. And if you are using a part, like if you, for instance, if you have one of the parts that has strength 11 as the minimum, right? And you only have strength 9, if you do any strength related checks or saves while in the mech, you have disadvantage because you're too weak to use the part properly.
Okay.
So you need, looks like,
I've got strength 10 and dex 13.
okay, so it looks like you could use the Precision Builder Mark 1, which is Because that's 13 and 15. I think that's the lowest one. Yeah, that is the cheapest one that you could use right now. All right. Okay. All right, so that's the first one. So now moving down to the cockpit. You're going to get the standard cockpit because you have nowhere near the amount to get any of the bonus cockpits. Computer system. This is where it gets interesting. You have Wisdom 16 and so that means...
Oh man, I saw the charisma column and I was scared.
No. Wisdom 16. You want Sensor Array Mark 1. I'm keeping all these down in a document, and then we're gonna copy them over once we make sure everything tallies up to be costing enough.
Got it.
And we'll go with the stock generator for now. We might go with a more expensive generator if there's enough money left over.
Okay.
That gives you stuff for EP points for doing stuff. The helm, we'll look at civilian standard helm. You might just buy the Night Eye helm just to get dark vision, because I don't think you naturally have dark vision.
Don't believe so.
Okay. Leg parts. Let's get you the mass production legs, so that way you can go normal speed. And then I add the chest pieces, which you have a lot of con. You have 16 con. So you need the Heavy Body Mark II. Okay. All right. Now let's add all this up and see what it adds up to. Precision build arms is 500. Standard cockpit's another 500, brings it up to 1,000. Then 800 for the sensor array, 100 for the stock generator. Civilian standard helm is 150. Mass production legs is 500. Heavy body 33. 3350 means the only thing that's left that we could get would be upgrading the generator. So you have 5,000 credits to spend on building your mech's body. You the basic build that I've assembled so far uses 3,350. If we jump the generator up, that will use some more of that. But you also have money. Do you want to get dark vision?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, well you have 2,500 from your background, so you should be able to afford getting the Night Eye helm, which gives you dark vision. Let's get that. So then we get that in place of civilian standard helm. So then that is all right, and then this is 6, 700. And your background makes it 75. So you have 800 credits left after getting the Dark Vision Night Eye Helm. But that is before your starting money, which I was going to say, for being level 3, I said you could start with an extra 25k credits, so the equivalent of 250 gold. And you could either put that into getting more expensive parts for your mech. You could put that, I said that you could trade that in for an uncommon magic item. You could use it for supplies. You could use it for any number of things. But that is up to you.
Yes, you mind if I give a quick scroll through some magic items?
Go for it. Look, I said uncommon magic item. You could trade the 25k credits for an uncommon magic item.
Item.
While you're looking at that, I'm going to copy over the parts that we already have so far.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Precision Builder Mark 1 arms. Okay. Then we've got standard cockpit, 5 tons.
Ooh, there's the classic moon cycle.
Ooh, that could be a thing. Is that an uncommon?
Yeah, I thought it was rarer than that. I guess because it's restricted to Druid and Ranger.
Yeah. What's it do for you?
It's +1 to attack and damage rolls with the weapon itself, and also +1 to spell attack rolls and your saving throw DC for Druid spells.
Okay.
And you can add a D4 to hit points restored when you heal with a spell.
Ooh, that could be very nice. That's an uncommon?
Yeah, right? Maybe 5e Tools is wrong about that. Let's see.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. So this is from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. The +1 is the uncommon.
Oh, I see.
+2 is rare, +3 is very rare, and it uses an attunement slot.
It does use attunement.
Can I spell it?
I lost my.
Yeah. I presume you're getting the moon sickle for your mech.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how exactly that would work.
Because in order to use it, like the idea is that your arcane focus, your device is like connected to your mech. But the idea here, holding its magic bonus to damn attack. Okay, I'm going to say if you get it for your pilot, right? It's still going to use an attunement slot, so you still only have 3 attunement slots, right? Between mech and pilot, the total can't go above 3. You will get the bonus to the spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs, but you can't attack with it because it's going to be in your mech. If you get it as a mech weapon, you can have the bonuses and you can attack with it, and you can use that +1 bonus to attacking with it.
Okay.
But
And just like attach it to the scimitar, or
yeah, the moon sickle would just be a weapon. It would just be a sickle, a mecha sickle with the moon trait.
Oh yeah, Okay, that's an option, and then I'm gonna
Stock generator
I'll put it here.
75.
It's 25,000, right?
Yeah, 25,000 credits.
Okay.
Okay. Stock generator.
What is?
And then mass production legs.
If I'm not using a beam weapon, will I be using EP?
So EP actions can be used for like using your boosters to do stuff and doing certain things. There is a new EP action that EP actions are listed on page 43. On page 43, and was one of them listed on 44, are your EP actions you can take. That's only if you the one thing you might use is my bonus EP action that I added, which is once per rest you can spend EP in order to regain a spent program slot.
Ooh.
You have to spend 3 times the program slot level, and it's a bonus action, and you can only use it once per rest. So there's that, and then there's some stuff with like you can essentially do like a half a shield with a dodge burst in order to make things less likely to hit you, or you could use extend boost in order to make yourself go faster, or quick dash, or getting a whole lot of speed. It's a lot of stuff about using using your movement.
Okay. Those do look pretty nice.
Yes. And if there's, and I'm still like, there's still in flux about like coming up with other things. Okay, you have.
I was wondering because with the body that I have, I will not be regaining a lot of EP.
But the things did get if you look at the generator, it did get buffed. Like the stock generator has 4 EP regain. So with your body, you're gonna have -3 EP regain because it's gonna be slightly inefficient because of how bulky it is. But so you're still gonna regain 1 every turn. And then you can do actions, or you could get E-packs, which you can use as, I believe, a bonus action to regenerate 10 EP.
Okay.
Alright. Mass production legs. Whoa. Max weight is 950. You have 10, so that means your normal weight is 150, so that's plus 800. Okay. Cool. And then heavy body. Is 180. Is it Mark 1 or Mark 2? I think it's Mark 2. Yes, it is Mark 2. Okay. Then all that's left is your Night Eye helm. You'll be Sir Night Eye.
Except I see the past.
Okay, and then I'll put on here.
So I start with a mecha scimitar, but the rest of the weapons I have to purchase.
You start with a mecha scimitar, and you get one more simple weapon for free because you get your standard equipment.
Okay.
And you start with your armor, which I'll copy over the name for that in a second. Item.
Oops.
Okay. So let's get that scimitar. Did you decide if you wanted to do the moon sickle as mech weapon or pilot weapon?
Probably mech weapon.
Okay.
if I'm looking at what I can get with 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea.
But as you saw, the act of making the mech itself is just you pick the parts that match the stat you want and see if you can go above. And then in later levels, as you have more money, like that 25,000 credits, you could put into like getting like legs that give you flight or something. If you didn't want to use it for that stuff.
Yeah.
If you look in chapter 4.5, you can look at different mech parts that you can like get different leg parts that give you some special movement, and 25,000 can get you any leg part you want. Or it can get you one of the other head parts that give you extra senses. If you wanted to trade out the Night Eye helm for something else, or you get a bigger generator. But
yeah, I looked through all of those except the legs for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those ones just give you a 5-speed. Oh, really?
Yep.
Light is powerful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those are expensive legs. Like, they cost almost as much as a magic item.
Yeah.
Actually, they cost... Yeah, they cost about as much as, like, what you'd expect for, like, an uncommon... like, a little bit less than an uncommon magic item. But the idea is that you can, as you level up, these are attainable goals to get. But also, you have a less carry capacity.
Yeah. Oh, I'm torn. I love me a moonsicle.
Uh-huh. You could get some tremor sense. Or dark vision that's half as far, but you could do detect magic once per short rest.
Ooh.
Or you could even get blind sight. For thermal cranium, blind sight 200 feet.
True.
Change the name of the armor.
Oh, actually, let me look at it. Let's do it again.
Leather is Corvette Steel Mark 1. 10 tons. Oh, the weight's slightly different. Okay. That's what it is. Copy.
Nah, screw it. I'm going with the flavor.
With the moon sickle?
Yeah, I'm going with the nice shiny sickle.
Okay. Did you decide if you want it on as mech or as pilot?
We're gonna do mech.
Okay.
Big shiny sickle.
Yep. Your mech's got big shiny sickle. So it's a sickle plus 1.
We cutting through the heavens with this one.
All right. All right, let's look at the data on the sickle. Here we go.
Mecha sickle has deflect 3 and light.
Yes. Oh, sickle's oh, that is a, so it's not doing very much damage, but
Well, that's until I start sparkling.
mm-hmm.
And it's technically doing plus D8.
Hmm? Oh,
And sorry for
your star stuff. I was like, wait a minute, what? Nani the what?
plus D8 plus 1.
Alright, and okay, cast a spell.
Today. Oh, thank goodness it's not two-handed.
Nope, it is not. And it's light, so you can wield it in an offhand as long as you only have a light weapon in your main hand. Let me look at. Alright. What it needs is spell attack and spell DC plus 1. Okay. Plus. Plus 1. Spell DC. Make sure that works. Spell attack plus 1.
If only I could shillelagh it.
One as well. Spell attack, spell DC. I think, and then ba 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 ba. Let me make sure this took properly. Spells 8 plus 3. 8 plus 2 is. No, it didn't take. Now let's see. Nope. All right. Guess I gotta do it manually. And then There we go. I couldn't make that set. Okay. So that takes up one attunement slot. And now you have 5,000 credits that you can spend on other miscellaneous weapons and equipment that aren't actual parts. That you can spend for like battery packs, e-packs, nano repairs. Or you could buy other weapons. Normally you can't use it to buy other weapons, but I'm saying you can.
Okay. How much do I?
Oh, you also have another simple weapon. Because you start with. Oh no, you got a shield. Never mind. You got a shield. Well, you got the moon sickle as your scimitar, so you can just choose. You can just. You can choose. Yeah. You could choose any simple weapon or a scimitar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the moonsicle was the simple weapon.
No, because you bought that with your credits, so that's not your starting equipment.
Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm. You are proficient in clubs, daggers, darts, javelin, mace, quarterstaff, scimitar, sickle, sling, spear, missile launcher cluster, and longbow. I'm willing to say that the sling we replace with like the spray gun or the handgun. Probably just no, yeah, probably spray gun because it's still D4 ranged. Because that's essentially a sling. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, probably. Do I want to drop longbow for short bow? No. Yes.
I just realized you went through that to get the missile launcher cluster proficiency, but you can't afford the missile launcher cluster.
Yeah.
But you could get the regular mecha longbow with the 5,000 credits.
Yeah, I need to read.
Here's what I'll say. You can say you got the scimitar mecha, which is worth 1,000 credits, but say you sold it so you have 1,000 credits to spend on miscellaneous things, and spend your 5,000 credits on longbow mecha. So then you have a ranged weapon that you can use, and then you just need to buy ammunition for it. How would that work for you?
One second.
Okay.
I'm actually no, those are homemade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I drop the long range and just try to have the sickle out at all times.
Okay. So you have sickle and shield. And do you want to, in that case,
like get like a shoulder weapon, maybe?
yeah, a shoulder weapon?
Um,
You want to trade your missile sonic, your missile cluster for a lower tier missile like vertical, or what could you afford? The default missile launcher that does the 1d6. That's a light weapon. You could have that on your shoulder, giving you ranged options.
yeah, honestly, probably that instead.
Okay. So just the default missile launcher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I could just start with that, right? Instead of the...
Mm-hmm. That's a simple weapon. So you could choose that as your one simple weapon that you get to choose.
Yeah.
And then that means you don't have to spend your credits on it. So you can save your credits for buying ammunition for it.
Yeah, that seems like a plan.
Okay. Missile launcher. 5 ton. I'm just going to mark that it's mounted on the shoulder. Blah, blah, blah. How is this situated for the moon sickle? It is item type, ranged weapon. Okay. Let me see if I can do this right. Fire. And then range 600. Feet. And then press has an attack. Damage. No. That's not the button I want either. Oh. There we go. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Awesome.
Wait, is the sickle finesse? I should have looked at that. It is not finesse. Oh, I was wondering why it was using strength. Okay. All right. So,
Oh, it uses strength. I forgot. Well.
so you've got your sickle, your shield, your missile launcher, and you can use your sickle. And your sickle is connected to your spell device, your spell program device, and you use it for casting spells, executing programs. You have a hacker character with who's an archaeologist. And yeah, I'd say we got a lot done.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity,
Uh-huh.
and I apologize for the low energy. I'm on 3 hours of sleep and a can of sardines.
Oh goodness.
I forgot that I have to go mow.
All right. Well, I think this is coming up on 6 p.m. This is when I was planning to end stream, and I know you've got work, you've got stuff you got to deal with. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not really. I'll make sure to spend the remaining funds on consumable items.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited. I'm into this character.
Mm-hmm.
Getting their vibe more.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of showing up with this custom druidic mech weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to playing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, thank you, because I am too tired and neurospicy to have read through that document myself.
It's okay.
Even though it is much simpler than I was worried it would be.
Yeah, I think the character creation process went pretty smoothly. It was just like there's long lists of stuff to pick from. And I think one of the biggest things it adds is like the different weapon choices and some of the different mechanics for like interacting with the world. And you've got your hacker tools for being super hacker. I was hoping that if we got done early enough, we'd have time to do a test encounter, but we definitely don't have time for that. So,
at the other place, gotten to do that?
No.
Okay, so we could maybe do something together.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance I might swap strength and dex. If I do, I will swap the parts appropriately.
Okay.
But I will let you know if I do that.
Okay. Just make sure to switch the missile launcher. I have the missile launcher set to strength because it's a +0, because your missile launcher doesn't add anything to the roll, but I can't choose add nothing, which I think is a bit of an oversight. So I just picked strength because it was 0. So that'll just be
noted.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
For having me, I'm going to go lay in a patch of dirt and become one with the earth for a bit.
Sounds spot on. That sounds so on brand. That sounds so on brand for our druidic Our druidic individual.
Yeah, if I were a druid, I would just kind of wander around, help out small communities, and then lay face down in the dirt for a while, meditate.
All right. Well, have a good one, and I'll see you at Lancer tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I will see you then.
Yeah, I got to figure out what we're doing for that.
Time is not real.
No, it is not. It is not real at all. I've been so caught up on all this stuff that it's just been like, bleh! And then with learning Blender now, and it's like, bleh!
Yeah, I did. I made a very wise choice by committing to do something like that a few days before my 6-day work week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We'll reconvene. Well, I'll try to remember for us to reconvene sometime next week and be like, all right, what have you learned? What can you do? And what steps can we take towards making this project happen?
Yeah. And we'll see if I'm alive.
I believe in you.
And I very much appreciate it. It keeps me going.
All right. All right. I'm going to exit the chat real quick to do my outro. But thank you for coming, Jalen. It was great having you. I look forward to running this adventure with you and with the others.
And I look forward to playing in it. Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, chat. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot for the stars.
Yep. Alrighty. Hello, Hecate95 on Twitch. Hello, I am actually just winding down. I'm sorry, I'm just winding down. And we just worked on building a D&D 5e character and exploring the Roll20 character sheet, as well as hold on, exploring the Roll20 character sheet, as well as some of the options in the Get in the Robot homebrew that we're going to be using for the upcoming game. And some more of the stuff involved with that. So that was fun. It was a nice special stream. Took a bit longer than I intended. But just had to copy over a bunch of stuff. Roll20 is great, but it just takes a lot of time. It just takes a lot of time. Thank you, Hecate. I appreciate having you. I appreciate you. For those of you who don't know, I like to speak positivity, joy, and hope into the lives of my viewers. Let me snooze this ad. Oh, you're back, Kimberly. Welcome back over on YouTube. All right. Actually, I'm going to... I have an ad that's about to run, so I'm going to run that ad. And then once that ad is run, I'm going to do the outro. Okay, chat? Okay. Okay, got the ad running. Okay. What I don't get is why I'm not seeing the stream elements bot in my restream. That's Really interesting. But it was great having you all. I know this wasn't exactly what people like a whole lot about my content. We're going to go be back to storytelling stuff coming up. This was just some fun mechanical exploration, you know? It was fun, and it was nice little bit. Wasn't it like, because the thing is, OKUSEN wasn't available for the other days. So the number of days that OKUSEN is running on 3 hours of sleep and a can of sardines is a bit concerning sometimes. Yeah, it was great having you all. All right, ad should have finished. Okay. Ad is finished. So, I'd like to shout out everybody who said anything in chat. Tonight we had Kalora, the Wet Sock, Kimberly, OKUSEN was here. Hero Girls, Noelle Main, and Hakate. And to all of you who spoke up in chat, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful to have you here. And to everyone who watched and didn't say anything in chat, I'm grateful to have you as a member of this community, and your support, whether vocal or silent, is always welcome. And to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, thank you for watching my content and for contributing as a part of this community. It means a lot to me. And to all of you, I say I love you, and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that you all are truly special and one-of-a-kind and unique individuals. I believe that you make this world a better place by living in it in your own special way. I believe that you are valuable, worthy of love, and deserving of happiness and good things. You matter, you are important, and you are precious treasures of human beings. And always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. If you're watching on YouTube, I ask that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with getting it in front of more people, especially on a stream like tonight, where today's where we didn't get a whole lot of views. It helps with getting more eyes on my content, and it helps immensely. And if you have any friends or neighbors or aunts or uncles or relatives or co-workers, arch nemesis, enemies to lovers, lovers to friends, anyone you think might enjoy my content, feel free to show them my content and invite them to the next stream. Next stream is going to be Monday, 8:30 p.m. EST. We'll see what we're up to at that time. We'll see where it goes and what happens. And we'll see where it all comes together. I'm tired. I got anime night later. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, you can you can subscribe on YouTube and ding the notification bell. It'll let you know when I go live or release any new content. You can follow me on Twitch or subscribe if you want. And you can follow me on Blue Sky Social, X, or Twitter. And like my Facebook page or join my Discord. Links to all of those are in the description down below on YouTube or in the are on the About page on Twitch. I stream on both YouTube and Twitch. You can watch me wherever you want to watch me. I appreciate having you wherever you decide to participate. One last thing. You do not have to donate to be here. You're not expected to give money to be a member of this community. I appreciate your time, your energy, and your attention. And I'm grateful to have you here. And I do appreciate the people who do donate, who have helped make things possible for me that would not have been possible otherwise. And to them, I say thank you. And to anyone who ever feels like they want to donate to give for any reason, and it is financially safe and responsible for you to do so, there are links where you can do so down below on YouTube and on the donate button on Twitch. In the description on YouTube, there's a link to Ko-fi and PayPal. All donations are non-refundable. Ko-fi, PayPal, you can do a one-time donation, which helps a lot. Ko-fi, you can do either a one-time donation or monthly donation. If you're going to do a one-time donation, I prefer you do PayPal because I get more of the money. And Ko-fi, if you do the monthly donation, there is no rewards for it at this point in time. It's just more of people saying they have a tangible way they want to show that they appreciate my content. I appreciate the people who do that. And the donate button on Twitch just leads to Ko-fi. All right. So with all of that stuff out of the way, let's say goodnight, everybody. Have a good night. And I want you to know that I love you all. Alrighty.